we're going to take you to Olympia. That is ancient Olympia in Greece. The archaeological site of Olympia is one of the most important religious centers of antiquity. In this place, Zeus, father of the Olympian gods, was worshipped, and splendid athletic contests, the Olympic Games. They were celebrated here. Olympia is located in the western Peloponnese and Elis. It is positioned in a serene and rich valley at the confluence of the Albaros and the Kalaidos rivers. It is famous beyond the borders of mainland Greece for hosting the Olympic Games every 4 years, starting in 776 BCE. The construction of the Philippion began by Philip II after his victory in the Battle of Chaeronea, which was in 338 BC. It was dedicated to Zeus. After Philip's death, it was completed by his son, Alexander the Great. Philippion was an heroon built in order to glorify the Macedonian dynasty, of which 5 Chrysophanetine statues were set up in the interior, crafted by the famous sculptor Leo Charnay. This is the only circular building in the Altis, and it is encircled by a colonnade. The outer columns of Ionic order with bases in the attic in Ionic style. It supported the entablature of a shell of limestone.
Second oldest temple, Zeus's wife. Headed to the Temple of Zeus.
The 5th century BC. It had 6 by 13 columns. The Doric style, simplest, plainest style. Have you been in Athens? Have you visited Acropolis?
Yes.
In the Temple of Zeus, in the second room of the Temple of Zeus, stood one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world, the golden and ivory statue of Zeus. It was created by the sculptor Phidias. Do you remember his name? Phidias, P-H-E-I-D-I-A-S, also made the golden ivory statue of Athena in the Parthenon. But this one was one of the 7 wonders. It was a 42 feet high statue, a seated figure of Zeus. In his right hand held a Nike, the personification of victory. In his left hand held a scepter with an eagle on the top. Unfortunately, the statue no longer exists. When the Christians
So this is the temple of Hera. who is the wife of Zeus, and that is her temple over there. This is Zeus's temple. We'll go over and do a little thing here. And there's Zeus's. So they're quite a far distance from each other. Olive trees everywhere.
This is the temple of Hera. I'll show you that spot.
Here at Hera's altar is where the lighting of the Olympic flame takes place. The ceremony has been established since 1936, and it signifies the official beginning of the contemporary Olympic Games. This is one of many apsidal buildings belonging to a prehistoric settlement. They had stone foundations and date to an advanced to late phase of early Hellenic III period. The crypt was the official entrance to the stadium. It was used by both judges and the athletes. The arched passageway was built in the Hellenistic era, and the Pausanians called it the secret entrance. The stadium, or Stadium of Olympia, was customary in early Greek. The spectators sat on the slopes, and the only stone seats were there for the judges. The stadium's course is about 200 yards long, which is equivalent to 600 Olympic feet, or 191 meters long. The capacity of the stadium is an estimated 45,000 spectators. The altar of Panhellenic is still visible on the north embankment.
So they have this walk plank thing that you can just walk along, and it's pretty easy walking for anybody who's handicapped or has mobility issues like myself, or if you're in the best of shape like Donna up there.
The SE building, which is Nero's house, also called Octagon. It was elaborately built with a Puri-style court, many rooms, gardens, and a luxurious baths. The arched roofs of the buildings had been replaced, the sanctuary house, as well as other buildings of classical times.
So this must have been a fireplace or somewhere where they cooked.
Yeah.
Looks like the Looks like they're doing a little restoring around here. So they did say that most of the stuff is restored, but they use the original rock but restore it. So
during the 3rd century AD, the SE building underwent alterations. The edifice was recognized as temporary residence for the Emperor Nero, who had lived at the sanctuary during his participation to the Olympic Games of 67 AD.
Alright, I don't know where at the back end, because I see some gates. There's a ton of olive trees around here, and these are like the top of the arch, or the poles and stuff. Let's see what we got.
This is an area called South Portico. It's formed by the southern boundary of the sanctuary with a facade towards the river Alfarios. It is consisted of an interior Doric colonnade and outer Carthaginian one. The building dates back to the middle of the 14th century. The Temple of Zeus at Olympia was an ancient Greek temple in Olympia, Greece. It was dedicated to the god Zeus. The temple, built in the 2nd quarter of the 5th century BC, was the very model of the fully developed classical Greek temple of the Doric order. The Temple of Zeus was built on an already ancient religious site at Olympia. The temple was constructed between 472 and 456 BC. Archaeologists have long postulated the temple was destroyed by earthquakes of AD 522 and 551, known to have caused widespread damage in the Peloponnese. Some people say that the columns might have been intentionally pulled down by ropes during the Byzantine period. Flooding of the Cladios River, tsunamis, they led to the abandonment of the area in the 6th century. Eventually, the site was covered by deposits of up to 8 meters deep.
Oh. I thought I seen people up here.
You probably did.
Is this Zeus's place? This is Zeus's
Yeah,
place.
the other side is Zeus.
So he's like kind of in the middle of everything, which is really cool. Okay, there you have it.
The Palestria was erected during the 3rd century BC. It was a training spot for fist, wrestling, and jumping athletes. Its colonnade consists of 72 Doric columns, while in its center included an open courtyard. The inner yard was paved with sand and was a training ground for the athletes. Around the inner courtyard were the rooms of the athletes. Both had ionic columns and were used by the athletes before and after training. These included the rooms in which the athletes were anointed with oil and they were pouring dust on their bodies, as well as the locker rooms and the baths. Inside some of the rooms, there were long, narrow benches that were used for teaching, while there were doors on the structures open to the outside. Initially, the main entrance of the palastra was headed to the south, and then it was relocated to the
They did
northwest.
say at one point this was under 6 feet of mud. So sure they're gonna find some cool stuff down there. Oh, hey, look at this wall. Oh yeah, right.
Now that might be a tall tree.
Oh yeah. I know, they're so cool. Now you know where the Egyptians get their skills from, with the straight lines and the
I hope you enjoyed this time in ancient Olympia. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share my videos. And remember, it's up to you to make it fun and make it yours. We'll see you the next time.